Hey painting pals, welcome back to Mandy's Minis. And today, well, you know what we're doing, so we're just gonna jump right in it. But before I do, I just have to say, how cool is this embroidery look? First time ever trying it. I'm very proud of that. One of these days, I will do a tutorial on that for you guys if you'd like. But in the meantime, I have started with the hair on Leather Brown by AK, a nice dark brown. And we're moving up to our mid-tone, Uniform Brown, which is a Reaper paint. So, here we go. There is something so nice about just getting that first bit of paint on the mini, don't you think? I mean, I know this isn't the first bit, but you know, the first of that color gets kind of exciting. Is this gonna work? Is it gonna look good? Well, you guys already know the answer to that already. What you don't know, because you get to see the final product, but what you don't know is if I change the recipe. Because little do you guys know, my recipes, well, I usually come up with them on the fly. Yeah, I'm actually, a little bit of a confession here, I'm actually very, very good. It's my one big talent is that I'm very good with colors. And so I'm able to kind of look over and see, okay, these go together, and that will do what I want. I'm occasionally wrong. It happens. I'm not perfect, but that is how I come up with most of my recipes for you guys. Is literally just, okay, I want to do a tutorial on this particular thing, or somebody asks for a tutorial on this particular thing, which colors are going to make that happen? And would you look at that? It's working. So I'm going to carry on with this, and I will be back for the highlights because, well, you watching me paint all these strands of hair to the mid-tone, well, that's going to be very boring for you. All the magic happens later on. So just remember, when you're layering up for this step, you want to make sure you leave some of that shadow color behind so that it's still there. And then, of course, we've got a second coat to do once this dries. So once again, you're going to get very bored just watching me paint the hair and ramble on because, well, quite frankly, I just don't have anything exciting to say today. Nothing much is happening. Busy as ever, but nothing exciting or noteworthy. And yeah, I got nothing. I got no tidbits, no bits of wisdom. Work has been draining me, so there is like no brain power left to give you any real information. So we're going to focus just on the recipe today and, you know, of course, the highlights and all of that, and continue making this, she looks like an Oktoberfest girl. And I know it's late for that. We're definitely way past, it's not even October when it's past it's past October when I'm filming this. So by the time you see it, yeah, unless you're way in the future and you're watching this like a year from now or something, in which case, hello, how's the future going? So, all right, that's about it. That's about all the rambling I can muster up for now. I'll be back to actually give you some wisdom when I'm on to the next step. All right, painting pals, and check that out. She is now definitely a different color for her hair here. And we're going to go ahead and start the highlighting. And what I'm using is Vampiric Flesh, AK. And we're going to start with a 50-50 mix of the Vampiric Mist with the Uniform Brown. And we're going to just go through and highlight some of this. And I like to use very light, soft strokes when I'm doing this because I want the thinnest possible lines. And the best way to do that is to not push, just lightly sweep the small lines with your detail brush And you need to make sure you have plenty of water in there so that it flows very nicely right off the brush. We're going to get some highlighting going on here. And you can see that's starting to look pretty good. I want to be careful because I don't want this to go too light. Because then all we'd be doing is having another tutorial of blonde hair. And most of you have already seen that one. And for that, I'm kind of sorry. It is my most popular video. It's a great tutorial as far as information. It is a horrible tutorial as far as actual filming. So I do apologize for that. Still, I was in a hurry. I had already filmed it and kept getting it out of focus. And you guys are probably pretty used to that by now. I have no idea if I'm actually getting good focus on the model this time, because I'm always more focused on what I'm doing and watching myself paint so that I can put the paints in the right spots as opposed to the actual camera, even though it's right in front of my face. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now we're going to come down here and do a few more. We're going to just get some strokes here of the light, highlight. Okay, and of course I'm going to do just a little bit over here as well, but not as much, because for my lighting scheme, the light is coming from the right side, this side over here. So we're going to have less highlights over here. So that's as high as that's going to go. And that's pretty good. And I think we're still managing to keep it in the realm of not quite being a total blonde. We just want that dirty blonde. But if I do go too high, I can always bring it back. So it's okay. Don't be scared. It's only paint. You do need to reload though. It's only paint, and we can always change it and fix it and adjust it. So you just got to keep going and look at your model and review what you're doing and adjust accordingly. And that's what you want to keep doing. And of course, we're going to hit this crown here, crown of her head. So think of it like a little halo around the top of the head. Okay, and then I'm going to hit back here a little bit. Again, just a little bit. We want to know that it's highlighted, but we don't actually want to change the tone of the hair. I'm a little worried. Like I told you guys, I do make these up on the spot, and I'm a little worried that the uniform brown might have been too light for the dirty blonde, but I'm going to go with it still. We're going to trust the process, and I can always adjust it down later if I so need to. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to trust the process, and that way we should get the results we want. And if we don't, then we adjust from there. But we don't give up on it first. First we try, right? And that is the best way to continue to grow as a painter, because you got to try new things. You can't just rest on your laurels. And if Ben were here right now, he would make the bring it on joke of maybe our laurels are a good place to rest. But that is a very old movie, and it's very dating us, how old we actually are. But that's okay. It was still a fun movie. So here we are, almost done with the first highlights. All right, great. And I'm going to call that there. And now I'm going to jump up to just doing the vampiric mist. And if I wanted to, I could actually take it up from there and go even higher. But I'm not going to. I'm going to just keep it to this. And I am going to make sure that these, see, that's what we don't want to do. But I'm going to make sure that these strands go in the areas of the highlight I've already done, and not jump up on their own or anything like that. Nice and small. And this is about how fast I paint. You're seeing this at regular speed. No rushing. I am talking to you as I'm painting, so you can see the actual speed. I know that's one thing that always throws me off. You see all the sped up footage and you try to match that when you're painting because you think that's right, but it's not. This all that footage is sped up, and I used to joke that I would put a sign up on my wall that said to slow down, so I would remember not to do that. So hopefully you guys don't get taken in by that same concept, because it's frustrating, especially to try and break that. And looking at this, I probably could have done another mix. Probably should have done like a 2-to-1 ratio, but that's okay. If I decide I don't like it, again, we're trusting the process. If I decide I don't like it, I can always take it down. I can always add that later. But honestly, on camera, it actually looks better than it does in real life. In real life, that vampiric mist looks really, really bright, like a white. But on camera, now that I'm looking at it, that's not too shabby. So we're going to go with that. And I'm going to trust that that's what I want to do. So I'm going to add a little more highlights here to these areas. So as you highlight, the areas get smaller and smaller. And you can see just the light touches that I'm trying to give it so that it doesn't go too bright all at once. All right, so that's looking pretty good. And I'm going to skip that section because, again, that's more of my shadowed side. So what I have there already highlighted is as high as I want to go. All right, and then we're going to come up top, and I'm just going to get the same flow going right inside. It's already there. Whoops. And we're just going around the crown. So again, I'm not going to cover all the highlights. So a lot of these would not actually go up any higher. We're not going to go up any higher in certain areas. Down. And because of the layering nature of acrylic paint, even though I'm putting down the mid-tone, it's still going to be higher than the previous mid-tone because it has the underpainting of the highlights that I did. So I can bring this down so it's not quite so yellow and bring that back. Same thing over here. Kind of bring that this way. And it's still going to be a little bit higher than it was just because of that underpainting. Don't be afraid to play with that and to keep moving it on. So I'm kind of liking where she's going now. I'm getting much happier with this. There we go. And now I feel like I'm getting more of that in-between stage where it's not brown, it's not quite blonde, we're in between. But remember, at no time do we reach for yellow when we're doing hair. Whether you're doing blonde or anything, you want to make sure you're staying in the brown ranges. The same thing goes for reds, unless you're doing an unnatural red hair, which those are fun too, so go for it. Enjoy. Have fun with it. They're great to play with. I've got a whole video on it. In fact, I have videos from almost all the natural hair colors already, and we're working on getting some more of the fantasy colors going. So if you haven't checked those out, they will be coming up at the end of the video. But I think for now, we have her done. I am extremely happy with that. I still have a nice shine, but we still haven't hit that bright or that light blonde sort of feeling. If you do want to go darker, more of a different, more of a light brown than a dirty blonde, I would go with something like a brown sand. And you can use the same highlights, the same highlight color, and the same, sorry, I just noticed something, touch up.
You can use the same shadow color and the same highlight color. I would just switch out the mid-tone, and that's going to give us a little more brown than the dirty blonde. So one of these days you'll probably see that video, but until then, let's send her over for final photos, and you can take a look at her in all her fabulousness. Again, I'm really proud of this one. I really love how the embroidery came out, especially because that's not actually sculpted in. It's raised, but the flowers are raised, but they're not actually embroidered or with an embroidery patterning on them. So that was all paint. So let me know if you do want to see that. And thank you so much for watching another one. Thank you for joining me. A special thank you to our patrons. We absolutely love you. Could not do this without you. Thank you so much. And until next time, have fun and keep creating.